Imagine amassing a fortune of $50 billion, enough to rank among the world's richest, yet almost no one knows your name. This isn't a fantasy. It's the true story of a mysterious tycoon who did exactly that. In a world obsessed with flashy tech CEOs and celebrity billionaires, he has flown completely under the radar. Welcome to the tale of the hidden billionaire, the $50 billion fortune no one talks about. But before we unravel this incredible story, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. If you love discovering the untold stories of wealth and luxury, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Now, let's dive in. Who is this secretive magnate with more money than entire corporations, yet virtually zero public profile? Meet Zhong Shanshan, a man so reclusive and independent that he's earned the nickname the Lone Wolf. Zhong built an empire on something surprisingly ordinary: bottled water, and turned it into liquid gold. In 2020, seemingly out of nowhere, his net worth exploded into the tens of billions, propelling him above famous names like Jack Ma and even, at one point, Warren Buffett. How did a low-profile businessman selling something as simple as water quietly become one of the richest people on the planet? And why does nobody talk about him? The answers lie in Zhong Shanshan's remarkable journey from obscurity to extraordinary wealth, a journey full of twists, perseverance, and a fair share of mystery. Imagine your net worth skyrocketing by tens of billions overnight. That's exactly what happened to Zhong Shanshan. A modest businessman for decades, in September 2020, his bottled water company Nongfu Spring went public in Hong Kong. Shares surged by 85% on the first day, briefly elevating his paper fortune to $59 billion, a bump so dramatic it vaulted him ahead of Alibaba's Jack Ma and Tencent's Pony Ma. By day's end, his net worth stabilized around $51 billion. Virtually no flash, no private jets, no glitzy photo ops yet. Just like that, Zhong became the richest or among the richest people in China. His second major windfall came from another listing. In April 2020, his pharmaceutical company Wantai Biological Pharmacy went public in Shanghai and was heavily involved in COVID-19 test kits. This IPO, combined with Nongfu Springs, significantly inflated his stake in both businesses. His wealth shot past the $50 billion mark. So how does someone go from humble hardship to fortune of this magnitude, and do so with almost zero fanfare? Humble beginnings. Zhong was born in 1954 in Hangzhou, China. During the Cultural Revolution, he dropped out of school at age 12 and supported himself through a range of odd jobs: bricklayer, construction worker, reporter, even selling mushrooms, prawns, and turtle supplements, long before entering beverages. Strategy over showmanship. In 1996, Zhong founded Nongfu Spring. By refusing to remove natural minerals from his bottled water, a bold marketing play, he positioned the brand as a healthier, more authentic alternative to distilled water, winning consumer trust in a crowded market. Using cloud computing and big data, he precisely targeted consumer preferences and expanded aggressively. Soon, Nongfu dominated the Chinese bottled water market and became the #1 packaged beverage brand from 2012 to 2019. Diversification. Zhong's empire wasn't built solely on water. He also founded and acquired Wantai Biological Pharmacy, a biotech manufacturer. During the pandemic, Wantai's COVID-19 test kits became critical and highly profitable, boosting his overall fortune further. The lone wolf mystique. Despite such wealth, Zhong remains almost invisible in public. He shuns media, social events, and political alliance, earning the nickname the Lone Wolf. He lives simply in a modest apartment in Hangzhou's Shihu district, adjacent to the scenic Westlake, far from the flamboyant lifestyles of his billionaire peers. Ephemeral riches. Zhong's fortune hasn't been static. At one point, Forbes pegged his net worth at an astronomical $95 billion in early 2021, but by mid-2025, It was estimated at around $56 billion, still a staggering sum, but less dazzling compared to the brief peak. Why no one talks about him? The big question: how can someone be so rich and so unknown, especially in the era of billionaire branding? Zero self-promotion. Unlike tech tycoons and celebrity CEOs, Zhong avoids the limelight. No flashy mansion tours, no curated Instagram, just business period. Non-tech background. He made his fortune in consumer goods and healthcare, not in blogging platforms or apps. That lack of cool contributes to relative obscurity. Political tightrope. As a Chinese magnate, maintaining an independent posture means carefully navigating political expectations, further discouraging any overt self-promotion. Zhong Shanshan is not just wealthy, he is strategically wealthy. And behind his empire lies one defining characteristic: he doesn't trust anyone. Literally. Zhong once told local media that he's not social and that his success comes not from relationships or politics, but from his own judgment and discipline. He rarely partners, avoids external investors, and builds everything with tight internal control. This philosophy of radical independence is exactly why many call him the lone wolf. Where most billionaire stories are built on high-profile partnerships, Jobs and Wozniak, Gates and Allen, Musk and PayPal's mafia, Zhong's path is notably solitary. He never joined any business associations, never aligned himself with China's political elites. He even keeps a tight lid on his own executive team. He doesn't delegate key decisions, and his public appearances are practically non-existent. That intense need for control came from experience. Zhong's early ventures before Nongfu failed. He tried his hand at health supplements, ginseng tonics, and other direct-selling models. Some boomed briefly, others crashed. But what he learned was that people, not ideas, were the most unpredictable part of the equation. So he built a corporate model with as few moving parts as possible. If a department wasn't performing, he'd shut it down. If managers caused trouble, he'd replace them himself. His lean, ruthless focus made Nongfu and Wantai some of the most operationally efficient giants in China. And then, just as the rest of the world was reeling from COVID-19, he struck. In 2020, as the pandemic began paralyzing global economies, Zhong was already 3 steps ahead. His pharmaceutical company, Wantai Biological Pharmacy, quickly ramped up production of COVID-19 test kits and diagnostics. While many companies struggled to adapt, Wantai had already invested in R&D years earlier for viral diagnostics. That foresight paid off massively. In April 2020, Wantai went public on the Shanghai Stock Exchange. The company's valuation surged. Then, in September of the same year, Zhong took Nongfu Spring public in Hong Kong. 2 IPOs in less than 6 months, both perfectly timed. While global markets were shaky, investors were hungry for health-related and consumer staples businesses. Zhong gave them both and watched his net worth skyrocket past $50 billion in a matter of weeks. By the end of 2020, Zhong wasn't just wealthy. He was the richest person in Asia, and briefly the 6th richest man on Earth, all without ever becoming a household name. And yet, he vanished from headlines almost as quickly as he had appeared. In an age when billionaires are influencers, content creators, and Twitter warriors, Zhong's silence is baffling. No books, no TED Talks, no philanthropic foundations splashed across the media, just water and biotech. But here's the catch. That silence is intentional. Zhong reportedly declined interviews with every major global outlet after his IPOs. Even Bloomberg, Forbes, and the Wall Street Journal struggled to get access. Some speculate that, as a Chinese billionaire, he knew the risk of standing out in a politically sensitive environment. Others say it's just his personality. He never cared about recognition. He only cared about results. And it worked. While Jack Ma clashed with regulators and vanished from public view after his tech empire was criticized, Zhong stayed completely untouched. No controversies, no speeches, no international business panels, just cash. So, what does Zhong do with his billions? You won't find him on a yacht off the coast of Monaco or bidding on Banksy paintings in London. Zhong still lives in Hangzhou, his hometown. His office is modest, his apartment understated. He doesn't flaunt luxury cars or collect private jets. His personal preferences are as low-key as his public image. He's the embodiment of stealth wealth, a man who built a $50 billion empire and remained in the shadows. Even his family is kept out of the spotlight. His wife, son, and relatives are almost never photographed. His son does work for the company, but you'd struggle to find an interview or social media post linking him to Zhong publicly. Zhong Shanshan doesn't just avoid the spotlight, is practically allergic to it. And that's exactly why his fortune is so shocking. Because in a world where wealth screams, Zhong whispers and still wins. In a landscape where wealth is usually accompanied by noise, Zhong Shanshan built his empire on silence, strategy, and simplicity. His journey dismantles the modern myth that success demands showmanship. He didn't invent social media platforms. He didn't create an electric car. He didn't pitch ideas on stages, launch a rocket, or trend on Twitter. Instead, he studied the market, waited for the right moment, and focused on essential products, clean water, and medicine, things people always need. In doing so, he created an empire that outlasted trends, pandemics, and even politics. For anyone aspiring to build serious wealth, Zhong's model flips the script. You don't need to be famous to be powerful. You don't need to chase status to achieve impact. And sometimes, the most valuable thing you can do is say nothing. Zhong's story is also a warning to those obsessed with visibility. Because while others were building their brands, he was quietly building cash flow. And while some billionaires became targets, Zhong became invisible and untouchable. He's proof that stealth is the ultimate luxury. And here's where the story takes a final turn. In 2023, Forbes reported that Zhong Shanshan had dropped out of the top 10 richest list. Not because he lost control of his empire, but because he didn't care to grow it loudly. His companies remained strong. Nongfu Spring's bottled water continued to dominate Asia. Wantai's diagnostics stayed relevant in public health circles. But while others were chasing valuations and headlines, Zhong simply stepped further into the background. Some say he's preparing his son to take over. Others believe he's slowly transitioning into a more philosophical phase of life. There are even rumors he may vanish, entirely retire, cash out, and leave the empire behind with zero fuss. We may never know. And that's the beauty of it. Because in a world obsessed with showing off, he built a $50 billion fortune and walked away.